Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnanandana Salakaya Chakshu Anmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. This inquiry, maturity in our spiritual practice, this is a very, very important inquiry. So first of all, let's look at this in a more general sense. Maturity, to have a sober look at our life, our human life. Are we here just to live like animals, eating, mating, sleeping, and try to create some nice position for ourselves? The animal species are also doing these things. So the human life has a lot more potential than just these four propensities. So the first verse of the Vedanta Sutra, Atato Brahma Jigyasu. Now it is time to inquire about the truth. This is what it means to be human, to inquire. 3 questions. Who am I? Why am I here? And what is my purpose? So when the human being becomes somewhat mature, this inquiry dawns within us. And for many, this is the beginning of the spiritual journey. So then we turn towards the scriptures. We turn towards the teachings of the prophets, the gurus, the priests, the imams, the spiritual preceptors to help us on this journey. If we're very fortunate, we can acknowledge our own limitations. If you want to study chemistry, if you want to study biology, if you want to study engineering, then without thinking, you go to the university, to the school, and you accept a teacher, you accept guidance. So, in the most important topic of your life, you need a teacher. In Sanskrit, that is called guru. Guru dispels the darkness of material consciousness. So there are so many scriptures, but along with the scripture, we need the teacher, we need the guru to help us on this journey. Otherwise, one is reading like this, one is reading like that. When we're in a conditioned state, we cannot get the clear meaning of the scripture. Although we can still get profound wisdom. So, in modern society, there's a real propagation of self-elevationism. You can, by your own effort, build your stairway up and up and up and up by your own effort. But God's mercy is descending to us through the scripture, through the teacher, through the empowered master. So, on one hand, yes, you need your own effort, your own practice. But you also need kripa, grace, mercy. Because if you just have your own effort, it is just like one wing of a bird flying in a circle. And if you just sit back and wait for grace, I'll just sit back on the couch and watch TV and wait till grace comes. This is also one wing, you're going around in circles. You need both, yeah? And in this way, your spiritual elevation can really take off. So you need those two. Self-effort and grace. So in our scriptures, the stages of development in one's spiritual journey has been very, very finely delineated. And also, at each stage, the side streams of where you can get lost. It's very important to know these things because they're like a guide map to help you on your journey. And they have been revealed in the trance, in the samadhi of enlightened sages. Now, one sign of maturity in our spiritual journey is to see the commonality in various religions, is to see that there's actually only one true religion, and that is love of God. That is the essence, the main essence of all theistic religions, is to love God and to serve God. This is very, very important. So in our tradition, the first stages of our path, they are a progression of soft faith to firm faith. And it's not until the stage of Nishta, the fifth stage on our path, that real profound spiritual practice begins. So in the stage of Nishta, this means unwavering dedication to your spiritual journey. Not like a pendulum swinging back and forth and just, oh, how was your emotion today? But here, our great spiritual master, Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, he says, at this stage, your spiritual practice should be ruled by your intellect, not by your heart, because the pure spiritual emotion hasn't manifested here at this stage. So it can be very unwavering. So you should use your intelligence, and whether you are feeling it or not, engage in spiritual practice. Krishna says Arjuna says to Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, I think the mind is more difficult to control than controlling the wind. Have you ever tried to control the wind? And then more difficult than that is controlling your mind, Arjuna is saying. Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. This is not a scripture for the Hindus. It is a scripture for mankind. It is for all beings. The word Hindu does not even appear in any Vedic scripture. So we want to come to the stage of Nishta, steadiness. And then the next stage after Nishta is called Ruchi. Ruchi means taste. When your spiritual journey is now, taste is coming. You're actually getting some spiritual nourishment. It's not sentiment. It's not blind belief. We want to mature beyond blind belief and actually come to the stage of taste. This is called Ruchi. And so the pure religion, love of God, it is like a school. It's a school of love. So often in life, we live a life of introspection, of everything is outside. And sometimes we think, oh, I'm very introspective. Or you know someone, oh, he's always thinking about the world, he's always thinking about humanity. But actually his thoughts are still extrospective, are still about the world. So the introspective person is thinking about his own soul and his soul's relationship with God. And the main objective of this life is to obtain the eternal spiritual world. This is an introspective life. But outwardly, you still do your duties. You still look after your family. You still do your work. But inside, your life should be like a potter. And a potter has the potter's wheel. And once you build up momentum on the potter's wheel, then the wheel is just going around. So your daily activities, your external life is going on. But inside, you're cultivating your masterpiece. And that is your loving relationship with the Supreme Personality of Reality, Krishna. How beautiful is Krishna? So maturity is to lead the introspective life. And different scriptures, different stages of the path, we should also understand, just like it's already been shared, there's different food, different medicines for different people on different stages of the path. So we should respect that and also take our own pulse and see where we are. And this is why it's very necessary to have personal guidance, a teacher on the path. So one of our great saints in our line, I'll end with this, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he has a very beautiful saying. And it is this: love is a very sweet word. When you hear the word love, it's pleasing for both the speaker and for those who hear it. Love, love, love. Everyone loves this word. But what is love? So the pure religion, it's a school of love. So we should be mature and engage in that curriculum, because that is our telos. That is the purpose of the human life. And lovers of wisdom, of Sophia, they love wisdom. Why? Because it gives theoria, divine rapture, ruchi, taste and love of God. So there is nothing more satisfying than being in loving relationship with the Supreme Personality of Reality, that is Krishna. And when you have love for Krishna, he becomes bound by that love. And just like here we have the deities, Radha Damodar, that God who is bound by love. Hare Krishna.